The Lakers are winning the whole damn thing.
Thank you.
LeBron
What?
gets ring number 5.
Really?
Anthony
Wow.
Davis reclaims the respect so many of you have taken from him.
Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction.
And then that GOAT debate that we were having before, that's over then. Year 20 title, LeBron, give me a break.
Okay.
Jordan's on like his 6th failed career by that time. So yeah, there it is. They're winning the title.
Okay.
When looking at the NBA media, specifically the pro LeBron James media, really for the past 3 to 4 years, every single season, they always have these big proclamations, bold declarations going into this season. For example, if LeBron James does blank, he'll finally pass Jordan. In 2021, if he wins the championship as the 7th seed, he'll be the GOAT and pass Jordan. He lost in the first round. 2022, a pretty similar thing. If he gets Russell Westbrook his first championship, he'll be the GOAT. He missed the playoffs. And last year in 2023, they had a couple of different narratives. If he passes Kareem in scoring, he'll pass Jordan as the greatest. Well, he passed Kareem in scoring, but really didn't pass Jordan. And after that fell flat, their next go-to, of course, was if LeBron James wins the championship as a planned tournament team. That would definitively put him ahead of Michael Jordan on any all-time list. Every single year the media has these wild what-ifs and wild expectations for LeBron James to finally pass Michael Jordan, and as you guys have seen, it never actually happens. And the whole LeBron versus Jordan thing for me personally, it really is a stalemate, as Jordan of course hasn't played in 20 years, and his overall legacy is cemented in stone. And LeBron being in year 21, almost 40, his overall legacy is almost dried and completely cemented. And with that being the case, I don't think LeBron realistically has a shot of passing Jordan for the majority of NBA fans. Look, if he got a 5th championship, that would be fantastic and great for his overall legacy. But his 5th championship, much like his 4th, it wouldn't really move the needle of him being greater than Jordan. Yes, winning a title at age 39 would be highly impressive, but looking through NBA history, it wouldn't really be unheard of, as someone like Kareem got his 5th championship at the ripe old age of 40. And I think one of the problems with the media in these debates, specifically the LeBron James side of the argument, they're so focused on LeBron versus Jordan, Kareem is totally ignored. And the arguments they use for LeBron being better than Jordan, looking at longevity and total stats, those same exact arguments apply to Kareem being better than both. And I think one of the biggest crimes for the NBA media is always being so hyperbolic and labeling things as the first thing to ever happen. This has never happened before, and we haven't seen this in NBA history. And a lot of times LeBron James, it's not his fault, but the media always says, we haven't seen a player be this great, this good, at age 38, 36, 39, whatever it may be. And look, knowing NBA history, I've seen Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's stats, I've seen his games. When he was over the age of 34, 35, even up to 40, he was a great player and an impactful player on championship teams. I mean, look at 1982. Kareem at that point was 35 years old and won the championship, averaging 20.4 points, nearly 9 boards and 4 assists, with 3 blocks on above 50% shooting. The following year in 83, at age 36, again made the NBA Finals, leading the playoffs in scoring at 27.1 points and blocks at just over 3. Fast forward to 84, look at the Finals versus Boston. Kareem in this series averaged 26, 8, and 4 with 3 blocks. And outside of Larry Bird, Kareem in this series was the best player on the floor. Imagine that in today's NBA. A 37-year-old player being the best player on his finals team. And looking at 85 for Kareem, I would personally argue his most underrated season, as overall production in the finals was almost identical to 84, but in this year's Lakers team actually won the championship and he was the MVP at 38 years old. And if you want to go one step further, Kareem past the age of 40 also won 2 more championships, again solidifying how great of a player he was, how impactful he was, even at the ripe old age of 41. Why this never gets talked about, I really don't understand it. As it's one thing to be a great old player, put up good numbers on a mediocre team, but it's another thing to be a great old player with great numbers on a historically great team that wins numerous championships. And Kareem, from 35 to 40, that part of his career, made 5 finals and won 3 championships. That part of Kareem's legacy is rarely, if ever, discussed. And that's why for the LeBron James media, Kareem in a way is kind of a wrench in their argument for LeBron being better than Jordan. As again, those longevity claims they love bringing up for LeBron versus Jordan, they really don't bring up for Kareem versus LeBron. And that's why I find it pretty comical when you have someone like Nick Wright on television saying time and time again, if LeBron at age 38-39 wins the championship, that will finally make him the greatest player of all time and better than Jordan. I'm like, Kareem is right there, having 3 championships, making 5 finals from age 35 to 40. How do you ignore that? And hypothetically speaking, if LeBron somehow goes from 4 championships to 5, he's still trailing Jordan by 1 championship and not reaching that benchmark of 6 titles. In the grand scheme of things, LeBron's overall prime, his peak, those times are past. And I think verifiably for everyone, Michael Jordan's peak, Michael Jordan's prime, was a hair better than LeBron James. And that version of LeBron we saw from 2013 to 2016, maybe to 2018, that version of LeBron James being a top 10 player on both ends, some years top 5 on both ends, that version of LeBron James, unfortunately, is never coming back. So when debating who is the best player of all time, I don't think LeBron James can change that argument at this point in his career. And in terms of greatest, I give him like a 1%, 5% chance of actually catching Jordan and his 6 championships. The one thing I will give LeBron James tremendous props for is that unlike Jordan, and really unlike any player of all time, LeBron's remained a top 10 player for the longest out of anyone. Of course, there's no stats to back that up, but I think generally speaking, from year 2 to year 21, that overall segment of his career, at every single turn, he's been a top 10 player. And look, as great as that is, as impressive that is, if LeBron plays for 23, 24, maybe 25 seasons, that would mean for 21 and 25 years, he failed to win a championship. That is 2 decades of winning nothing. That's when the overall longevity argument, I personally think, kind of backfires in LeBron's favor. As compared to the best players of all time, you have Jordan, 6 rings in 15 years, Kobe, 5 and 20, Kareem, 6 and 20, and then Magic, 5 and 13. Even the guys who played 20 years had at least 5 championships. So I seriously ask you guys, at what point does LeBron's longevity, as impressive as it is, kind of backfire on him that he hasn't won more championships in his career? And the icing on the cake, LeBron's played on 3 different teams over that 20-year career. He's picked his teammates, gone to super teams, built super teams, and still would only have 4 championships in 23 years. Look, 4 titles for any NBA player is highly impressive. But we're not talking about the average NBA player, we're talking tier 1 cream of the crop, the top 1%. The Kobes, Kareems, the Jordans, guys like that. I'm sorry to say it, but 4 championships in 20 years simply doesn't cut it for the all-time greats. And speaking about the media one last time, with this Lakers team in 2023-2024, they're going to be pushing them heavy as championship favorites and the favorites to win the West. The same way last year, post the Westbrook trade, the media was pushing LA 24/7, 365. And having guys like Nick Wright, Shannon Sharpe, Kendrick Perkins being oh so confident the Lakers were going to win last year's championship and then failing to do so. Don't forget that, because whenever LeBron's teams inevitably lose, they act like their hot takes never happened and they didn't predict them to actually win the championship. Just something I noticed. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.